Hello and welcome to our monthly update on what people are watching in the UK. In September, total identified viewing rose marginally to an average of 222 minutes daily. This was up 1% on last month, but down 3% on September 2024. This month's What People Watch will examine cosy crime, an audience's desire to see new content close to release, if not necessarily live. Let's consider a more top-line view first, one that we introduced in March of this year. Regardless of whether the source of viewing is a TV company, streamer or video sharing service, we showed that on-demand viewing was growing and live viewing was declining. This trend continues, but live or day of broadcast viewing is still accounting for half of TV set time in September this year. Interestingly, streaming on the day of broadcast or release is growing. This is the dark teal portion of the chart here. Viewing of this type is still only 5% of time with the TV set, but it is undoubtedly growing. This is true for TV company streaming services and pure play streamers. Taking the latter on their own, we see significant growth since September 2022. Isolating it in this chart, the trend is clear. Regular peaks around Christmas stand out and are growing, while the peak in March of this year was driven by the Champions League, Reacher Series 3 and Last One Laughing UK on Amazon, alongside Adolescence and Drive to Survive on Netflix. Sport is well understood as a driver to live viewing, but Reacher and LOL UK demonstrate how a staggered release schedule for a programme can build anticipation and create moments for viewers to experience a show collectively. These shows had different release patterns, but both had final episodes, 4 for Reacher and 2 for LOL UK, that dropped in March. Turning now to cosy crime, we see a genre of programming that is gaining loyal followers. With at least 16 shows, both long-running and new, available to watch in this genre now, we can use examples from TV companies and streamers to examine viewer behaviour. The Thursday Murder Club has received much attention, but only 22% of its 6.6 million 7-day audience watched on the day of release. This compares to 61% of the 3.1 million who watched Murder Before Evensong Episode 1 on 5 over 7 days when it was released on October 7th. This figure does vary somewhat. For Whitstable Pearl on You and Drama, for example, 52% of the almost 1 million who watched Episode 6 over 7 days watched on the day of broadcast. Overall, viewers seem to want to be amongst the first people to see a new episode of any programme. While that proportion varies, when we look at day of broadcast or release, it may be more useful to consider a slightly longer period, akin to the opening weekend for a cinema release. The comparison with cinema isn't perfect, as TV shows are dropped or released on different days of the week, but the innate desire of people to watch something first seems to persist. The concept of live also doesn't quite translate, as pure play streamers show don't drop in a specific time slot. But an opening weekend may be a better fit for both environments. Returning finally to Netflix's Thursday Murder Club, if we give our See It First viewers 3 days, they account for 67% of the 7-day audience. That figure for the final episode of Reacher Series 3 is 76%. Doing the same for the first episode of 5's Murder Before Evensong audience produces a figure of 81%. It's comfort telly, but many viewers aren't comfortable waiting too long to see it.